of the games that make us. I am your host, Contra Viction, and today we have a very special guest, which is Jose from ExpGrind.
Hey, woo! What's going on, everybody? All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Jose from the ExpGrind. I hope everyone's doing very, very well. Contra, I hope you're doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I cannot wait to be a part of this.
I'm glad that you said yes. So, I hope your day is going well. I know that you're on the East Coast. No, I'm on the East Coast. You're on the West Coast.
Oh, West Side? No, I'm just kidding.
West Side?
I currently, obviously, I live in Los Angeles, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. I just live in LA. We're dealing with COVID right now. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't understand to wear a mask. But other than that, I mean, doing well. Thank you so much for letting us know or asking me. Thank you.
Not a problem. Okay, so let's get this interviewed on the road. So,
all right.
What was the first system you were introduced to, and can you remember the name of?
Oh man, the game. Okay, first system that I was introduced to was the Super Nintendo. And when I played the Super Nintendo, the one of the games obviously that I played with was Super Mario Brothers, but the one where you're able to ride Yoshi. My fiance is gonna kill me because that's actually her favorite game, and I don't remember the actual title of that game. But one of the games that does stick out for me is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. If I remember correctly, Turtles Back in Time, and that was one of my favorite games of all time to actually play. And it was just like for people who are probably going to once they watch this video, they're probably going to think like, I've never heard of the game, I've never played the game, because honestly it wasn't one of those games to where it got a lot of like promotion back in the day. It was one of those games where you'd have to like walk into your game store or wherever you bought your consoles at. Usually when my parents would buy me any sort of console or any sort of video game, we wouldn't go to like an EB Games or anything like that. We literally would walk into, like, let's say for example, like a Curacao, which is like a Mexican version of like Walmart or Target and stuff. And that's where necessarily all these games would be. And I remember seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and, thinking to myself like, hey, this is cool. I picked up the box, I saw the back, and I was like, hey, okay, this is cool from what I'm seeing here. And me being a child, I just looked at it and I was just like, hey, cool, it's a beat 'em up game. And played it with my cousin, and we both fell in love with the game instantaneously. And to this day, it's one of those games that holds like an awesome memory in my heart. And I actually downloaded an emulator on my PC just so I can actually play that game once again. And yeah.
No points. All right. It's like a lot of people are, instead of buying the console, they're just downloading emulators instead, just to relive those type of games.
That is true, and it's mainly because too, like, if let's be realistic here, sometimes too as well. Like when it comes down to it, some of the consoles nowadays, like a lot of people, there are some retro stores that sell like Super Nintendos for like maybe like $60, $40 if you go down to like a swap meet. But then you don't have the cables or anything for it. You don't know if it's gonna work or not. Some retro stores do sell like in box consoles, but they sell them for like $200, $300 because it's a collector's item to some people.
Right.
Like for me, I actually bought a Super Nintendo. But I have yet to actually find Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in box because I wanted in box. That's how I actually want to get the game. But I mean, it's because it's a lot easier to access an emulator versus right now having to drive down to your closest retro like game shop. Dropping maybe, let's say, $200 and then plus on the video games that you want. And they're not selling the games, for like $20, $10. They're selling the games for, like possibly $60 because once again, they're collector's items now. So, I mean, for emulators, it's definitely great if people don't want to spend that money, but there's always going to be, consumers on both sides. Like, hey, you know what? I'd rather have everything digital, be from the comfort of my own home and, just be sitting on my gaming chair. Other people would be like, hey, let me try on the Super Nintendo. Let me relive this nostalgic moment by actually playing on a handheld console. Or, sorry, on a handheld, like on the actual like Super Nintendo controllers and on the TV.
I get what you mean. Well, I haven't necessarily played it on an emulator before. I'm usually the other side where I rather collect it physically just to add to the collection. But I know there's other people who rather not purchase it. They rather just, it's just the convenience part, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
No, 100%.
Yeah, I completely get it. So, with that being said, do you have a game that you played faithfully when you were little?
The game that I played faithfully when I was a kid, and we're skipping from the Super Nintendo now. We're upgrading.
Mm-hmm.
A game that I played faithfully. I mean there were a couple of games. Okay, you know what? We're going back to no, not Super Nintendo. Okay, so I'm just gonna name off games that I did play faithfully, and the reason I say games is because growing up as a kid, um, when my parents would buy me when my parents would buy me a game, I'll be honest, I was the only child, and I hated it because my parents literally kept me in a bubble. So with them being scared of me being their only child and everything, and them being scared of the world, they're like, "Here, just play video games. Like, just do this, just do that." And I was like, "Okay." So I was spoiled in the video game section. But games that I grew up with was Super Mario Sunshine. I played that game religiously. To this day, I have not beaten the entire game. Like collected everything and not beaten it. Even when I was a kid, I didn't beat it. The reason I would actually play that game a lot was just to mess around with Flood. If I remember correctly, it was Flood, the backpack. I don't know what Flood stands for, but the reason I would play that game a lot was because I really enjoyed the physics behind it. That you can actually wet the road and you can actually dive and just slide and continue. So what me and my cousin we would do when we would play that game, we would legit just see like, hey, let's just turn it on. Let's see who can go the farthest without crashing into anything, and let's see who wins. And we would just make up games like that. Um, but I guess one of the games that I played nonstop was Halo. Halo on Xbox. That was the game that I told myself that you know what, I didn't have Xbox Live at the time. We didn't have internet or anything, so I would just play like with my cousins. I would just play. With family coming over, but I always try to beat the entire campaign on legendary mode, on the hardest difficulty. I'm a kid here, just playing on the hardest difficulty, and I was never ever able to beat the last level ever in my entire life of existing. I've been able to beat everything else, but never the last level.
Oh! 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 Oh my god! Oh! When's the last time you played it so you can beat the last level?
When I was a kid, that was the last time I played the first Halo. Like, yes, they have like the Halo Master Chief Collection for PC, Xbox, and stuff, but I don't want to go through that. I just don't want to go through the heartbreak that I felt when I was a kid, because that actually made me give up. Like, believe it or not, like by playing the last level, I was just like, yeah, I was like, I quit. I can't. I was like, I can't do this. If I can't beat this, I can't do any other game, and I just gave up.
Oh, come on, man. It's like there's games that I've ran across when I was younger where I was like, man, this game was so hard. But I'm like, I gotta make the younger me proud and play the
Yeah.
game again and beat it. You gotta go back. You have to go back and play it.
I think that's what I'm gonna. I may go back. I may actually download it after this interview and be like, you know what, younger Jose, this is older Jose talking to you. We got this, and I'm gonna play on PC now since I actually got a PC now.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Well, speaking of Halo, I completely agree. At the time, I didn't have live. I was able to play like with my cousins and my uncles and my stepdad. I was able to play those type of games. So as I gotten older, I realized that now I just understand the what everyone was talking about related to. Oh, I gotta play online. I gotta play online. I didn't have that luxury at the time playing a lot of games online.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like so zoomed in when it comes to like campaign games specifically. But then over time, that's when I start playing more multiplayer. But I don't know. I've always fell in love with campaign because I didn't play online.
What was what's it called? I know you're interviewing me, but now I had a question for the interviewee.
Okay,
What game did you play religiously while you were growing up?
it's a lot. It is. It's a lot. Like I was so addicted to Metal Gear Solid. I was addicted to Spyro. Because
Good choice. Great choice.
I was playing a lot of Nintendo and PlayStation, but I was like gun ho on PlayStation games. So anything they bring into the house, I was playing. Like I end up playing like, well, yeah, I end up playing like Fatal Frame, Brave Fencer Musashi, Onimusha. Contra. Like I was playing all types of games.
Okay.
But what was I addicted to? Dang.
It's hard, right? It's hard because like you grow up with all these games and it's so hard just to choose one because they're just all amazing. Obviously in our eyes when we were kids, like we can play one game, we think it's amazing, and other people will play and be like, this is a garbage ass game. Like, what are you doing? Like, you think this is a good game? Like, garbage, you stupid kid. It's like, I'm sorry, Dad. But what's it called? But no, to add on to it, Sly Cooper. That's another game I played religiously.
Sly
Sly
Cooper.
Cooper was the best freaking game I've ever played on the PlayStation. And it's sad that Sony did not announce a remaster of the Sly Cooper games. I was so upset. Like they've already done Crash, they've done Spyro. We need a Sly Cooper franchise to come back, or even a new title to come back for the PlayStation 5. They're doing Ratchet and Clank. I've never played Ratchet and Clank before because it doesn't like interest me. I know it's a horrible thing to say as a gamer, but like for me personally,
because I'm not a big fan of it either. Don't come for me in the comments. I said what I said.
they're gonna slide in my DMs like you're horrible. Well, how do you not like Ratchet and Clank? But no, honestly, like for me personally, like Sly Cooper was one of those games that a lot of people don't even talk about nowadays because it's just like because people either A, they never played it, or B, but they possibly have played it, but they just don't remember it being as great as it actually was. The game was phenomenal. I loved how you were stealthy. I loved the characters, man. Like the characters are so awesome. I was able to relate to them. And yeah, I just really do wish hopefully that they bring back Sly Cooper. That's so Sony, if you watch this, when you watch this, look me in the eyes, look Contra in the eyes, and tell us, or just on Twitter or whatever, tweet out that you guys are making either a new Sly Cooper game or remastering it. I will buy a PlayStation 5 just because of that. I definitely will.
Sly Cooper.
Give this, yes,
Fatal Frame.
and give her Fatal Frame.
I didn't forget.
Yeah, she never forgets.
I mean, because it's like all these. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. So
Go for it. Let's do it.
My friends and I, we were talking about some games that deserve remakes.
Okay.
They keep doing. I mean, not remakes, remasters. Excuse me. Remasters.
Okay.
And there's quite a bit of games that I believe deserve remasters. For example, I need Chrono Trigger remastered. It needs to be exactly like Final Fantasy VII, but keep the music the same, keep the characters the same, keep the voices the same, keep all of that the same. Just redo it, remodel the whole thing, and then throw it at me. That's what I want.
Okay. Chrono. So you wanted to pretty much do everything the exactly the same then.
Yes, because the graphics for Final Fantasy VII was so amazing, and I'm like, I just need the same thing with Chrono Trigger. Now, if they take away turn-based, I'm okay with that, but I need that game. I need that game. I need
Okay.
to know that I need that game.
Everybody, make sure comment section. I want the comment section to blow up. Let's go ahead and get her Chrono Triggered remastered, guys. We need this.
And
Well,
send me
if
the game.
and then send her the game for free, and then she'll do a 24-hour stream. Just
I will
boom,
do
of just
24
Chrono
hours.
Trigger.
I'll be falling asleep playing that thing.
No, to add on to that, 100% agree. I'll be honest with you, I've never played Chrono Trigger. That's probably going to trigger a lot of people in the comment section, but I've never played Chrono Trigger. Just and my wife hates this. I've never ever played any Legend of Zelda game in my entire 27 years of existing. Ever. And like when I said that at E3 while I was waiting in line and in the Nintendo booth to play Luigi's Mansion, what's it called? I heard someone behind me going, oh, "You call yourself a gamer? Ew!" Like I don't think they meant for me to hear, but I heard it and I wanted to laugh so much, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. No, I'm not gonna turn around and be like, yeah, you're right. But the best part about that, after that person said it, Doug Bowser, because I was waiting in line to where the Nintendo like the VIP rooms wherever we're at, like the doors are right there. Doug Bowser literally turns the corner and is about to go in. I'm just like, oh, Mr. Bowser, and he actually shakes my hand. The man shook this hand right here. and the power emanating from him, dude, I just felt like I was like, I'm a nobody. I'm poor. Like I'm definitely a nobody because this guy was just like emanating like I'm Nintendo. I'm Doug Bowser. I am the new like chief in command. It's like Jesus Christ. But he was a nice dude. Awesome dude. But anyway, sorry. I know I got off topic. I apologize. But okay, games that need to be remastered. Sly Cooper, definitely. I'll gladly do a 72-hour stream of the game. I don't even care. I'll do it. Secondly, though, PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. Have you ever played that game? A Super Smash Brothers like clone, but with PlayStation characters. So you had Nathan Drake, Kratos. You had oh my god, I can't believe I
I'm
forgot all
familiar
the
with
characters.
it. I haven't played the game, but I do know what you're talking about.
That game was the best party game to ever exist on a PlayStation console. It was on PlayStation 3. I think they added it onto the PlayStation Now so people can actually play it on their PlayStation 4 consoles. But personally, they really do need to remaster the game. I enjoyed the hell out of that game. I thought it was just awesome how you can have literally Nathan Drake kick Kratos' ass, and then you can have Sweet Tooth. If I remember correctly, Sweet Tooth is the playable character, and then like Sweet Tooth beat the hell out of Nathan Drake. And like the reason I'm saying these characters is because they're the only ones I remember, unfortunately. But honestly, like PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale is a game that must be remastered because it's just a phenomenal game, and it's one of those games you can easily pick up. You don't need a whole ton of skill to just have fun in general in the game. Like I'm not gonna lie, I suck at fighting games, but I picked that game up and I have a time of my life, you know. And I think it's one of those games that has to be remastered. Another game that I do think needs to be remastered, I think everybody would possibly enjoy, is Ape Escape. Ape
Ape
Escape,
Escape.
if I
Yes.
remember correctly. Yeah, Ape Escape.
Yes.
I played it once when I was a kid, and I did pass it, but I don't remember everything on it because it was on the PlayStation One. If I remember correctly, it was on
Yep.
PlayStation One, and the game overall just had a great feel to it. I loved the actually I enjoyed the artwork on it. I enjoyed how simple the game was, but yet it was addicting and it was weird. But they definitely do need to remaster that game as well for a lot of people. I know if you go on like a lot of like Reddit forums that discuss like about PlayStation, there's some people who are like, "Oh, Ape Escape." There's other people who want other games obviously remastered, like in this case, Chrono Trigger, that I've never played before, but it's probably a game that I should pick up because a lot of people do say great and phenomenal things about the game. But Ape Escape is definitely another one, and I mean, and that's like that's on the PlayStation side. Like on Xbox side, I mean, I really don't know what to remaster. I mean, they have Game Pass. They're already pretty much putting old backwards compatible games from Xbox over to the Xbox One. So I mean, I can't complain there. They're not doing remasters. They're just like, oh, you have the disc, put it in. You can play the game. We don't care. Go for it. So I really enjoy that. They're not really like money hungry. Like, oh, we're gonna remaster this game. We're gonna charge you $50, $60 just to play it. It's like, oh, you got the disc, play it in. You're good to go.
I have a bone to pick with Ape Escape specifically because my mom bought me the game and I'm like excited and stuff. And I was playing like the first or second level. By the time you get to like the third level, it requires you to use an analog stick. Now at the time, she didn't know that there was another analog stick controller. It was just a regular one that didn't have it. So I was struggling trying to play the game because I can't catch any of the monkeys.
Because you know.
And she just didn't understand, like, I need another controller. What's wrong with the controller you have now? There's nothing wrong with this controller. It's just I can't play the game because I have the other one. And she's not gonna
You need the analog.
She already
Yeah.
got the game. She's not gonna play.
Yeah, like back then they really didn't tell you. Like the employees wouldn't tell you like, oh yeah, you would need an extra like do you have an analog controller at home? Like they don't ask you those questions. Like now they do, obviously. But back then, like in this case, that would have been an awesome question to ask like the customer, like, hey, do you have this? No, well, here's a controller that you will need, and then boom, upsell. And yeah.
Yeah, I wish they upselled her because I had to wait until I was an adult to finally play the game. And having two separate controllers, like, okay, this is what I'm gonna use because this one's not gonna work. I don't know. What game do you believe is underrated?
Are we talking like any year, this year?
Give me a retro game and then give me a current gen if you like.
Okay. Retro game then. Teenage Ninja Turtles in Time. That's a game that's definitely underrated, and I think the reason it's underrated for me is just because of the memories that I had with it. With my cousins, my family, we'd all sit down, we'd play the game, we would fight to see who would be able to play it, like with who. Like, oh no, I want to be Donatello. No, I want to be Raphael. Like stuff like that. And it's just the memories that like it holds like dear to my heart, and that game to me is definitely underrated. And I feel like everyone should definitely play it, even if you guys don't like beat 'em up games. Just like think of it like a Scott Pilgrim game. Think of it as the new Battletoads and even the old school Battletoad games as well, but Ninja Turtles. With it over, and like pretty much the Ninja Turtles had a hoverboard level where it kind of depicted like the Battletoads level, where you would have to, like go back and forth, which is like the hardest level to even like this day, that everyone in video game history or just in video games in general would always say, hey, what's our hardest level? Oh, the Battletoad sewer level is the hardest level. So what's it called, like it's definitely a great challenge. Now current gen game that is underrated, man. Okay. I current now, are we talking like story wise? Are we talking like multiplayer wise? Now
Doesn't
that's
matter.
that's
That's
doesn't
for
matter.
you to determine.
It's hard to pick because of the fact that a lot of people base their gaming experience based off of what IGN has to say. Now, I'm not talking smack about IGN. I will never shoot shots at other gaming journalists because of the fact they have their own opinions. Opinions are wrong, but what's it called? Like I think I think the game that has potential, and I'm saying potential, is Anthem. When Anthem released, I was super excited. I still love the game. I still played it. I thought it was awesome. Great open world. You're in freaking javelins, man. It made me feel like a freaking badass flying around in these javelin suits, being able to like fight all these other creatures. It had that Destiny feel to it, of course. And then unfortunately, I spent, if I remember correctly, it was $70 on the game, $70 or $80 to get the Ultimate Dawn Edition, which got me like exclusive skins, and it got me, I believe it was like 72 hours early access for the video game. And the game was trash. I'll be honest, the game was trash. I played it again, and then I realized that even though, yes, there's bugs, there's glitches, the game has so much potential. And I'm just waiting for the developers to be like, here's Anthem 2.0, because they're working on it right now as we speak. Like, they're not giving up on the game because the game really has a lot to offer. And I feel like people should give Anthem a shot again. I mean, am I saying go spend the money right now, like full $60? No, I'm not saying give it $60. If you already have the game, just boot it up, play around, fly around. I mean, that's sometimes what I would do. Like, if I don't want to like fight anybody or anything, I would literally just jump in my javelin suit and just literally fly around, explore the open world, and just see like, hey, what am I missing? What have I yet to like explore and stuff. So I think Anthem is definitely one of those games that is very underrated, and I feel like the devs should just listen more to the community. I mean, yes, they give community updates here and there, but it's just one of those games that I feel they need to communicate with us even more. That way, we know, like, hey, so what's going on? Are you guys still going to work on it? Are you guys done working on it? Like, we need to know. But hopefully, they keep supporting the game, because then I feel when they do release Anthem 2.0, once they do fix all the bugs, all the glitches, and everything, it'll be an amazing playable game. And I feel like, I mean, I even said it when I saw it at E3. It's a Destiny killer. I mean, Destiny necessarily is like in a category of its own, but I hate the fact in Destiny that like I can have the highest light level and get two-shotted, when in Borderlands 3 or in Borderlands in general, I can literally have this amazing armor, high level. I go fight these level 5 creatures. I can literally put my controller down, go run a mile, come back, and my character's still alive. And it's not like that in Destiny. In Destiny, it's like you get shot still twice and then like you're dead. It's like, I don't get it. I don't understand your RPG thought behind this. I don't get how I'm supposed to stay alive. But yeah, that's my
Yeah, but
opinion.
that's a lot of people who that love Destiny though compared
Oh
to
yeah.
Anthem. And I remember when it first I played the demo. Okay, I wasn't a big fan of the demo at all. It just seemed like, I don't know. It just seemed like some of the developers are big fans of Halo. Some of the developers are big fans of Destiny. They try to
And
collide
Mass
it,
Effect.
and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And then they also brick some people's systems too, and I was like, ooh wee, ooh wee.
Yep, it crashed. It did crash my Xbox. I bought it on my Xbox, and it did crash my Xbox. Like I was playing the game, and all of a sudden my Xbox turned off. I thought I lost power,
Oh
and I was like,
no.
"Oh man, I lost power." And then I was like, "Wait, else is still turned on." I was like, "My TV's on." I was like, "What the hell happened?" And then I rebooted it, and then it was just like, "Oh, like your system just crashed, whatever." It gave me like a little message. Then I was like, "What the hell?" And then I played Anthem again, and it crashed it again. I was like, "Oh, that's where I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna, shut it off now. I'm not gonna play it anymore." But like I said, Anthem still holds like that special place in my heart because I understand what they were going for. Like I see their vision, I see it, but I just wish they executed it better. But Michael Gamble, I think he was like the like co-director or something like that for the game itself. He's the one that just pretty much didn't care anymore. Like he just like let it flop. So Michael Gamble, I'm looking at you, man. I'm sorry, but like, bro, you up, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I cuss? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cuss. I didn't mean to cuss on your channel. I'm sorry. Am I able to cuss?
You're gonna have to bleep that one.
Yeah, and bleep all these other ones. Michael Gamble. I'm kidding, guys. I'm like, my bad. I'm sorry, guys. I did not know I was not able to cuss. I am so sorry. I'm just a really really honest guy. I'm sorry about that,
Hey,
guy.
sometimes I curse too, but it's okay. I'm trying to tone it down so he don't have as much to bleep out.
Oh, he's gonna hate me if you ask me another question. Then.
Okay. Well, now that we learned a little bit more about you and the games that you played when you were younger, out of curiosity, was going into the gaming industry your first choice?
Yeah, actually. So, okay, so I currently work as an insurance agent. I know, right? 27 years old, working as an insurance agent. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's
That's
not that
fine.
great of a
I'm
job."
an analyst.
Oh, hey, you do something better than I do. I mean, that's amazing. Like that's definitely great. Like for me, here's the thing. The reason I work in insurance right now is because one, I'll be 100% honest with you. I know I'm good at it. It's something that I've done for literally 7 years now. I've done insurance now for 7 years, and it's an easy job. It really is. I work for one of my bosses who owns two companies, and I work both companies, and I work from home, so it's definitely great. Now, it does get a little stressful because, like, we do sometimes have some people who call out. Some people, they call out or they already have like a vacation and stuff. And sometimes he doesn't necessarily like schedule appropriately. So, for example, this Sunday coming up, I'm working a bell, so I'm working from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. There goes all my Sunday. I'll just be working. But that's because unfortunately he doesn't schedule anybody on Sunday because he gives employees the weekends off. And I understand because I actually used to work with him before, but I left him to go work at Newegg Business at the time. I loved working at Newegg Business. It was awesome. But then the CEO decided to fire the entire Newegg Business division, which was literally 200 plus employees. And I was only working there for like 3 4 months. I walk in, and then one of the buddies that actually sits next to me, he's like, "Hey man, it was nice working with you." I'm like, "What do you mean? What's going on?" He's like, "You didn't get the email?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm just clocking in right now. Like, what's happening?" He's like, "Oh yeah, everyone got fired." I'm like, "What do you mean everybody got fired?" And then I checked the email, and yeah, Lord of behold, there was an office meeting that we were having, and that's when they told us that, hey, they're shutting down the business division side, so
Oh.
everyone got let go. People that were there for 20 plus years even got fired. Like their jobs weren't safe, but everybody got severance checks, so that was great. But what's it called the reason I wanted to wanted to work in just the gaming industry in general is because I just love games. Video games to me growing up was escape. So I'm about to get personal here, everybody. So don't look at me differently. So growing up as a kid, I didn't have a great childhood. Now, yes, I had parents, which is great. They were loving towards me, and I love them for that. What I mean, I didn't have a great childhood was I was bullied. I was bullied in middle school. I was bullied in high school. And to me, video games was just something that I was able to necessarily like escape the real world. I was able to turn it on. I was able to play some once again Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Super Nintendo. I was able to play on my GameCube, Super Smash Brothers Melee with my cousin. We were able to play like even these like random four player co op games, which is like I think Shrek Brawl. So you're able to play Shrek characters in like a Super Smash Brothers clone kind of way. And for me, it was just a way to escape. I mean, I got bullied to the point to where I did try to commit suicide. I did. And what's called, thankfully, I'm very very happy I'm still here. I won't go into detail because I don't want to like obviously like scare your viewers away or anything. But
I mean, shit happens. Like this is
yeah,
real life, so that's fine. Like, go
All
ahead
right,
and say the
awesome.
truth. It's okay.
All right, perfect. Well, so I'll tell you guys a quick backstory. I was getting bullied a lot in high school. I was in drumline. I played the tenors. I was a huge music person, and the reason I loved video games even more was because of their music score. Like, I didn't want to be a director or anything. Like, when I was in high school, I thought like, hey, you know what? I want to be a musician when I grow up. I want to go to Juilliard in New York. I want to be able to, proceed a music career. I want to learn more about music.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just something that I was like, you know what? I probably shouldn't do this because it's a lot of people don't make it in the music industry. And I'm not saying it to be like a dick. I'm not I'm not saying sorry. I'm not saying it to be like a jerk or anything, but it's just, it is a truth. Unfortunately, a lot of people who want to become musicians don't really make it big in the industry. So, anyways, the drumline had a rule. It's like, oh, you're supposed to hang out only with drumline people. You're not supposed to like talk to other people, which was kind of dumb. And me personally, I love making friends. I didn't care, if you were white, black, Asian, Hispanic. I loved meeting new people. I didn't care if you play the flute. I don't care if you play the saxophone. I just loved making friends. And so then, like, the bullying started. They started writing on my locker, saying "Go kill yourself." They broke into my locker, like started like eating my food that I would pack myself. And my parents went out of town. And when they went out of town to Vegas, I wrote a letter. I left it on the kitchen table, and we had a tree in our backyard, pretty tall tree. And I climbed it with a rope already tied around my neck, and I just tried to find like the thickest branch that I could because the bullying just happened every day, and a lot of people are probably going to say, "Oh, why didn't you fight back?" Fighting to me personally doesn't, solve anything. I'm pretty sure these guys could beat me up, but like, what's going to happen at the end of the day? They beat me up. They're just going to keep talking more smack. I beat them up. They're going to just talk more smack, saying, "Oh, you hit like a girl," or "Oh, you just got lucky," and stuff. So me personally, violence doesn't solve anything, and I do believe sometimes that violence may solve something, but to me, fighting back then, what was I going to prove? I wasn't going to prove anything. So, I just tied it, jumped down. I was, hanging there for maybe like 10 seconds, started blacking out. And then all of a sudden, I just heard the branch, like the entire branch just snap. I fell, hit my face just like in dirt. And then it was just kind of like a realization to me, like, dude, like, holy hell, like I was about to go through it. And so I'm still here, and I use video games as a way just to escape. And the reason I want to become like be a part of the gaming industry, like, yes, we have our own, like, we're our own gaming journalists where we do reviews and stuff, but it's kind of hard to be a part of it because the gaming industry is just so overtaken by just such big companies already. Like IGN necessarily holds all of the gaming all the gaming what's that space all the gaming space in the industry. Like, it's really hard to compete nowadays because it's like people expect you to be like IGN, or people would expect you to have all these followers like IGN, Otaku, Kotaku, all these people. And it does get discouraging. But the reason I wanted to join is because I want people to realize that video games is a way to escape the problems in the real world. And it's also a way that you're able to meet people with the exact same interests that you have. Like, I met a really good friend of mine by playing. I was streaming Anthem. And he actually joined the chat. And me and him, like, we were just talking back and forth. We started playing Anthem together, and then after that, we started playing like Call of Duty together. And then we've literally been friends now. Never met him because he lives in Iceland, but we literally been friends now for over like 3 years now. And I've never met him. Like, we video chat here and there, but like, but yeah, like, sorry, I know I'm going off topic. I do apologize.
It's okay.
It's just that, like, for me, wanting to work in this industry is because I love video games. I want to introduce people to new games, not AAA titles, indie games. And indie games is necessarily where a lot of people don't see the potential because people just want to see AAA titles and stuff. But yeah, I want. Sorry, yeah, gaming industry because of stuff like that. Sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine. Even myself, like, uh, I've been through quite a bit when I was younger, and even
Yeah.
all the way up to high school. But I still managed to use video game as an escape, where I don't know. I didn't have the. How do I describe it? My childhood wasn't like most people, but then again, I was blessed to have the things that I did have because I did have parents that gave me consoles when they usually first come out, and I would literally sit in my room just playing games nonstop. That's what I did. It kept me out of trouble. It kept me away from boys. It kept me away from it just it's just I'm tuning everything out just to play video games. No matter
Yeah.
what happens while I'm at school or what's going on with family or the neighborhood kids, it didn't matter because right in front of me I have Spyro. Spyro's smiling at me. He's like, "Hey, we got to go through this portal. We got to save all the eggs. We got to save all the dragons." All right, cool. I'm cool with that. You know, it's like we immerse ourselves so much into video games where it drowns everything out. So I completely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then I want to also touch on the indie games. One thing that I really enjoy doing when I go to different conventions is just taking the time to look at the different booths at of the indie developers and actually
Correct.
interviewing them to see how long were they doing this. You know, because no IGN is going to cover stuff like that. You know, no
That is true.
big like companies are going to give them those type of coverages. So
Yeah.
that's where people like us come in, where we have an audience. We want to be able to share that audience with them. So in turn, they can become whatever big title over time, but we'll still maintain those type of relationships. That's why I think that's something. Sorry, that was my dog.
It's all good. No worry.
There's just, I don't know. There's room for everybody. Everybody can eat. It's just you got to figure out the path of where to go, if that makes sense. I know, like how I try to word it is.
No, that's that. No, that was great. Everybody, that's a quote of the day right there. That's a quote of the stream right there. That's I like that. I like that. No, and you are right. Like touching on the indie subject, like indie developers literally pour their heart and soul out to these games. When we went to E3 and I legit saw there was a lady, a couple actually, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of the company. This was literally last year, so I do apologize. But they made a game, if I remember correctly, called Save the Date. And it was a game that they would make for you if you were getting married, and it would be like a certain amount of like clues and stuff that you had to find out through the game. And once you beat the game, you actually got the invitation to the wedding. And the way the game was set up is that way they can know more about the group and more about the bride when it comes down to like people, like the couple itself that were getting married. So I thought that was a great concept. I thought that was a great idea. And I actually, unfortunately, haven't like checked up with them to see like what they're doing, but I definitely hope they're still um, working on that game because it's just great, man. Like I love that idea, like how you can literally play the game, learn more about the groom, learn more about the bride, and then at the very end, once you beat the game, you get an invitation to the wedding, and it's pretty sick. Like I played it, and they were telling us the concept the entire time. I was just like, dude, this is great. Like they're integrating a business with video games now, and I think that's what a lot of businesses are doing now.
Since you've been talking more about indie games, the games that inspire you to become who you are now, if an executive came to you and was
Hmm.
like, "Hey, Jose, here's $1 million. I want you to give me whatever your heart desire as a game. What genre would that game be? And can you describe the storyline?"
Oh man, you putting me on the spot. Okay. $1 million. Here you go. Make any game that you want to make. Man, I would love to make an MMO game like World of Warcraft,
Okay.
but have it be My Hero Academia type kind of MMO game where we see these MMO games that everyone tries to be. For example, I mean, DC Universe Online is kind of like a My Hero Academia because you have superpowers and stuff. But what I mean by like My Hero Academia MMO game, like I'm talking about like open world, like super open world where you can actually use your abilities to traverse the world. Like for example, if you have abilities like All Might, like you know how Midoriya does, Deku, like you know be able to traverse the world by jumping on like through buildings and stuff. And then like you know have raids that are cool, like that are actual like you know full on bosses. I think that would be a great idea. Another idea that I've had when it comes down to video games wise is, damn man, you really put me on the spot. Now I can't think. Like that's you really Like legit, that was a question I did not expect. That was a curveball question. I mean, damn. Man, honestly, $1 million. Mm, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I mean, all I can think of is like a My Hero Academia MMO. Because everybody, when they try to make MMOs, they either try to do something like Elder Scrolls Online. They try to do like a World of Warcraft game, so they keep it to like a medieval or old time with wizards and mages and stuff. But we really don't have an MMO to where it's like I don't know, like superhero. Well, no, DC Universe Online is super. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm actually gonna have to like think about that later and get back to you on that one because that's actually a really good question.
That sounds cool. Like an anime themed MMO.
Yes, like an anime
That
themed
doesn't
MMO.
exist. Yeah, that I'm not really into MMOs, but I don't believe that exists. That sounds cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's just like super hard to like come up with an answer right top of my head. That's
No, I think the idea is pretty cool though.
yeah.
I think
No,
the
it.
idea is pretty cool.
I hope so. I hope people think it's cool. Do you guys think it's cool? Let me know in the comment section. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be like, no, F in chat. Oh, oh no, sorry. A Cowboy Bebop MMO. What am I talking about? Be a bounty hunter. That's
Ooh.
that's what I've been thinking about. Like Cowboy Bebop was one of my favorite animes growing up as a kid. That's actually I'm actually gonna get this tattooed on this arm later on down the road because I just love Cowboy Bebop because that was one of the first animes that I really enjoyed as growing up as a kid because it had the drama, it had the humor, had all this action, and it had an amazing, compelling story to it. And that it has to be Cowboy Bebop, Yu Yu Hakusho for me, and then what else as a kid? Possibly not Inuyasha because that started turning more into like a love thing. Kagome Inuyasha. Yeah,
They
I hated
dragged
that.
that out, boy. They
But
dragged
yeah,
that out.
like think about it. Like you're in space, you're bounty hunters, and it's like you and your team are going to these different planets to necessarily locate these obviously the bounties and try to bring them in. And then you have a mixture combat style of obviously hand to hand kung fu style, or you have your weapons. So I think that would be a great MMO idea. Hopefully someone picks it up. I mean, obviously they don't have to call it Cowboy Bebop, but they can call it like something else that's kind of like a Cowboy Bebop MMO kind of game. But definitely would love to
Cowboy
see a game like
Bebop.
that.
I have no fear of death. It just means dreaming in silence. A dream that lasts for eternity.
You're an original, aren't you?
The last question is, um, where do you see yourself 5 years from today?
Dead. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. 5 years from today, honestly, I hope I can be working in the gaming industry. I want to work as a reviewer. I want to be able to have a nice setup to where I can do cool reviews for you, for just people in general. And the reason I want to do reviews is because people nowadays, what people don't understand is that unfortunately companies are getting paid to do reviews. Remember that WB scandal when Shadow of Mordor came out, and then everyone was actually getting paid to do those reviews, but they never disclosed any of that information to any YouTuber or to the people watching the videos. They never disclosed that information, and I think that was illegal to do. So that was like a really really huge big deal that happened with like WB and stuff when that game came out. And then a lot of people don't remember this, but I remember this clear as day, and I'm not crazy when I say this. But when Murdered Soul Suspect came out, excuse me, Murdered Soul Suspect came out, that cop investigation, like investigative, like ghost game came out. IGN posted a review on their YouTube page, giving the game literally a 4 out of 10. They took down that video like fast, like literally within the next like 5 minutes, and then they put up a new review, giving the game literally like I think it was like an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. And I was just like, wait, I was like, did no one else see this or anything? And then I started reading the comment section saying like, oh, people were saying like the game was trash, the game was horrible. I played the game, I thought it was a good game. Do I think it deserved like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10? I don't think so. Me personally, I think the game deserved a good 7 out of 10 because some of the controls and like the story kind of didn't make sense. It did seem like it was all over the place, but because it was like a next gen title release, it was trying to go for that like graphical output to like, hey, you know what? Let's show just how good the graphics are and let's kind of work on the story, just like how the Order 1886 was. That game, that when the trailer came out, I was just like, oh my god, it looks amazing. And then I played the game and I was just like, what? This? Like they went more for graphical performance than actual storyline performance. But I want to be a reviewer because it's like I understand that people have to get paid. I understand that people need to make money to survive and to pay for their equipment. They have to pay for their employees. They have to pay for their house over the roof. I get that. I 100% understand that. But to what extent can we as people who listen to these reviewers, to what extent can we be like, hey, you know what, enough is enough. Like you need to start telling the truth. So am I saying will I sell out? No. Would I bend the truth? Possibly, because let's be honest, we got to get paid. But right now, at this specific moment, when I do any sort of reviews or anything, I'm not bending the truth. And I possibly will never ever bend the truth, honestly, even if they're paying me a lump sum of money, because I want you guys, I want everyone in the gaming world to see if the game is great, the game is great. And that's my opinion. You guys can definitely disagree with my opinion. But my opinion to say, hey, it's an amazing game, and hopefully people can actually pick up the game who thought that the game was trash. But if they see my review, they'd be like, hey, you know what? The game is actually amazing. Let me tell my friend, let's get onto this game. And then if I say, hey, this game is bad, I would still want them to pick up the game and try it out for themselves. So my reviews wouldn't necessarily be based off of like, don't buy the game or buy the game. It would be like, make your own opinion on the game. But this is my opinion, and I want to hear your opinion kind of stuff. And hopefully within those 5 years, I am working in the gaming industry because I'm sick and tired of IGN just being all over the damn place. Like, I really am. Like, I hate it, dude. I just hate it with the fact. I mean, good job to them, from starting up from like, where everybody's at from the bottom and making it to the top. But yeah, it's just the way they sometimes go about some things. I'm just like, what? Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, why? But yeah.
I understand because there's a lot of people that don't trust IGN, and like with the backlash they received from Last of Us. Last of Us here they gave it like a 10 out of 10, but in Japan they gave it like a 7 or a 6.
Yep.
And they gave an honest review, and I'm just like, why did it have to get this far? I don't know. I completely get what you're saying. Honestly, we need more people who are going to be honest with people because we're already spending our money on games. The least a streamer, a gamer, a reviewer can do is be like completely honest. Like, hey, this is what it is. I'm going to give you the meat and potatoes. You can just decide on whether or not you want to eat it.
Yeah, like for example, like for me personally, the new Marvel's Avengers game that came out, I'm loving the game. I love it. I think it's a phenomenal game. Being able to pick up a Marvel character. First of all, I'm a DC fan. I've always loved DC. DC over Marvel any day for me.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I picked it up because I've seen every single Marvel movie. Of course, I've been to every single premiere, and I do enjoy Marvel a lot. I picked up the game. I was like, hey, you know what? I'd be able to play as Hulk. I can play as Captain America. I can play as freaking Iron Man or Thor or Black Widow. Or Miss Marvel, Kamala Harris. So in this case, I played the game, and currently, right now, in my personal opinion, it sits at a good solid 7 out of 10. It does have glitches, it does have bugs, but I know for a fact once they start getting those free updates out, more content, and they start necessarily fixing these bugs and glitches, I know the game can literally be a solid 9 out of 10 because it really is that good when you're playing with friends. Campaign, of course, yes, it's super short, unfortunately, but the whole co-op play, I love it, man. I'm really loving the game. So, and like I forgot, I didn't even see IGN's review to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure they gave it like maybe like a 7 or maybe even an 8. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong. You know what? I'm looking that up right now. Hold on, guys. Before you guys eat me alive in the comment section.
IGN is like the gaming version of Rotten Tomatoes.
Of what?
Rotten Tomatoes, the movie.
Oh, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep. Where don't even get me started on Rotten Tomatoes. Where there was some movies where there's backlash, but they will mark it as depending on how much they get paid from the companies, they'll mark it as like 100 or a 95%.
Yep.
Stuff like that. But if you see the audience score, that's the real score to me.
Oh yeah, it's the audience score. Oh yeah, for me, I always look at the audience score. They gave Marvel's Avengers a 6 out. I disagree with that, obviously, but what's called? But yeah, no, that the what? What did Metacritic? Metacritic says, let's see. It gives it a 70. A 70. Let's see. Well, it says Metascore mixed or average reviews, 70 Metacritic reviews, PC Invasion an 80, GameStar gives it a 75. So right now, pretty much some companies that are giving it a low score is like IGN or like Game Watcher, but everybody else is literally giving it a 70, or one other people gave it an 80, which was PC Invasion. So I do agree with and I actually do agree with reviews too about the game itself, because it is an enjoyable game.
That is my questions, and now we're going to move into the gameplay section of the interview, which is called Name That Game, Song Edition.
Name That Game Song Edition. Oh my god, I'm gonna be eaten alive in the comments. All right, let's try to do this. Let's see. I beg you, don't eat me alive. I'm not sure if she's recording, but if she is, don't eat me alive, guys.
Okay, here is the first song.
Oh god. I just heard like a doo-doo. Ape Escape.
That is correct. 1 point. So far. You got one?
So far. I heard that doo-doo-doo. That's on it, by the way.
He got 2 points.
Oh, are you playing the game? Are you playing the song? I actually can't hear the song at all. Now I hear it. I gotta wait for the drop. Hold on. Okay, I have 2 guesses. And these guesses are more than likely incorrect. The first guess, I want to say it's Final Fantasy.
And what's the second guess?
Second guess, I want to say it's Kirby.
Oh, and no.
What was the game?
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my god. Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna get so much hate. Oh my god.
Themes for Kingdom Hearts.
God, that annoying brat. I'm sorry, but I did not like Kairi in the game. Like, she was just annoying to me. I didn't. Oh my, that was Kairi's theme. I'm an idiot, dude. Wow. Wow. I do not want this. Wow, this video. No.
That's funny.
I'm just gonna tell him skip over minute 10 and like 30 seconds and don't listen to that.
Oh god.
I'm an idiot. I could already imagine someone, Kirby. Out of all the games, Kirby.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. Let's do this. Final Fantasy 13.
Yes! Yes! All right!
Yes, I am.
Theme is lit. Wait, hold on. I like the violin. We're gonna let it keep playing.
Let's do it. I'm ready. Fable.
Yes.
I'm a god, everybody. I am a god.
4 out of 5.
I got 4 out of 5.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Jose got 4 out of 5 questions. You know what that means. That means he's a winner in my...
Oh, there's confetti! Streamer thingies! That is awesome! Oh, man, I don't even...
It doesn't matter if you got 1, 5, or 0. You're still a winner, even though this is a participation trophy that I don't actually have. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That is insane!
Part of this interview, if you would like to tell the people what you have currently working on or any future projects that you're doing, please let them know, as well as dropping any information on where they can find you as well.
Sweet. Well, currently, guys, I am working full time, so the streaming has come to a halt a little bit. I'm not streaming as much as I would like to, but if you guys would like to keep up with any sort of news, I actually I have some sources that work for the inside of Call of Duty. Who actually I do get some awesome early content to show you guys. I am on Instagram, the ExpGrind, guys. We're also on Twitter, the ExpGrind as well. So make sure you guys come on down and support. One thing that I do want to say, last thing is, remember, guys, Black Lives Matter. They matter now. They would always, always matter. Please wear a mask. That way we can go ahead and just finish up with this pandemic. And guys, if someone that you know needs help, please feel free to lend a helping hand. But if we help each other along the way, we're definitely going to become better, and we'll just be able to get through all this all in one piece. Again, guys, thank you, Contra, so much for letting me come onto the show. You are amazing. You're fantastic. Thank you, and thank you again. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your show. And with that being said, guys, drop a like, follow her, subscribe her. She has such amazing content on Instagram that you guys will love. Her retro posts are so awesome. She actually goes down to a retro store and supports them. And I'm telling you, man, she's definitely going to be an amazing creator. She's going to be an amazing content creator. So make sure you guys follow her now before she blows up. And then, she forgets about all about us.
About any of you guys. I do appreciate the message. I do thank you for coming onto the show. And I will make sure to put in the description box below all of his information of where you can find him, as well as you be able to keep up with what's going on with the Call of Duty world. I don't know what's going on in the Call of Duty world. The last game I played was like Black Ops, but I am excited for the new one though. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. I did see the trailer. I am excited about that one. Thank you again for being on the show. Thank you guys for a new episode. And if you've seen the previous episodes, you know that I can never get it together at this part. Eventually I'll get it together. But we'll see you on the next episode of The Games That Make Us. And thank you for watching, and more confetti, and that is it. Bye, you guys. Woo!